Hey guys, and welcome back to Economics in Comics. So we just went and saw Cold Pursuit
Yep.
with
It's the,
What is it?
it's the newest Liam Neeson film.
No, what's his name?
Qui-Gon Jinn.
It was Star
Oh,
Wars.
yeah.
I'm Bill, Economics in Comics, your normal movie watcher.
Yep, I'm Joel. I'm Mike. We're the Massey Twins from GoneWithTheTwins.com.
They
Thanks for
are
having us back on the show again. We
Again
really
and
appreciate
again. Movie critics,
it.
guys.
You're starting to get a feel for what we do here, right? We're seeing so many movies, and now you've had the fortune of sitting through a couple back to back. They're a little bit more trying, right? So. Trying to figure out the little things that are to appreciate about some more obscure movies.
Well, in January, it's kind of rough too. Some of the
January's
movies are...
bad, guys.
Yeah.
This is what I'm learning as a movie watcher. January movies aren't the greatest, and these are the secret tips that I learn about with these guys. So, So is this Taken 4? I would say no.
No, this has a different flavor to it. It's definitely a little more unique. It's based on
It's actually it's a
Norwegian
remake
film,
of a Norwegian film. I believe the Norwegian movie was called In Order of Disappearance.
That explains it.
yes. Or
It's Norwegian.
what was it? It's like Kidley Idioten or something like that was the original title. I remember there's the word idiot kind of in the middle of the Norwegian word, which is kind of amusing. But so this one, you want to give us a quick rundown of the synopsis?
Yeah, well, so Liam Neeson is a snowplow driver in I'm assuming fictional town.
Well, Kehoe, is that fictional?
Well, I mean, it's maybe not. I don't know. It's supposed to be outside of Colorado,
Denver.
or Denver, yeah. But anyways, so his son is dies of a heroin overdose, and as the audience, we know immediately that it's foul play, murder, and Liam Neeson finds out later that it is indeed murder, and so his mission now is to go track down these drug dealers and kill them.
Yeah,
Get revenge.
so right from the start, I really liked the direction it was going because it has very bright, chirpy music that kind of contrasts the dark, snowy atmosphere. You have a sudden scene of violence in which the kid is taken by some gangsters and killed, and then it's framed as if he was a heroin overdose. And so then,
By the way, there's about 30 movies that they do that.
Yeah. But I like the tone that they set. You know right off the bat it's going to be a little bit quirky. You kind of get like a Fargo sense because the way that people behave is not completely serious.
Yeah,
they
for
find
the-
a little bit of humor
I don't know,
in
first,
murder. They
First
find a little
20
bit of
minutes
humor
maybe,
in-
but then after that, it really goes downhill
Yeah,
fast.
it's downhill.
The humor is very
It's
inconsistent.
horrible. They try to be funny, and it's bad.
Well, I'll disagree a little bit.
I can't wait.
The first part of this held my interest because Liam Neeson I thought was a good driving force. I thought the way he approaches his films, it's obvious that he's kind of a one note sort of guy. He's got there's definitely a Taken vibe in here, but I liked the way his character contrasted the humor in this. There's an early scene when they go to examine the son's body at the morgue. There's a technician there who's like raising the body up so that Laura Dern plays the wife or the mother, and
It's a
Neeson's
Star
the
Wars
father.
cast.
Yeah, yeah, coincidentally. And anyway, so in this moment, examining or identifying the dead body, there's humor in there because the mortician, he's doing this kind of foot pump thing to raise the body.
Yeah,
and
that's the big problem with the film
It's
is
horrible.
how uneven the humor is. You've got the absurdist humor works. Some of it is very funny. Sometimes they're throwing in a bunch of one-liners. That works a little bit of the time, but all the rest of the time it's this weird,
They're trying
sad,
to make it
funny,
funny.
violence, sad, funny, violence, sad, funny, violence, and it just does not go together at all.
Well, see, again, the reason I like the beginning of it is because you have humor from identifying a body, and then you have humor from a scene of murder, and there's kind of this,
That's where it falls apart.
there's kind of this escalation
for me
where
is that you can't shoot somebody in the head with a shotgun and expect the audience to laugh, and that's what this film is trying to do.
it is pretty violent, but
Yeah.
but
I
again,
mean, there's scenes where Liam Neeson is just beating the living crap out of somebody in the face. Their teeth are flying out of their mouths, and we're supposed to be laughing at this, and that's what the film wants you to do.
Keep
and
in
it
mind,
is not.
in mind, guys. This isn't Liam Neeson from Taken. This is a normal man, okay, who's getting his revenge, okay. But at the same
Yeah,
time,
it's a
they're
little
trying
unbelievable
to
maybe
find.
too. But he's a
They're
snowplow
trying
driver
to make
now,
it
and
funny. Like
Yeah.
we were talking, like he pits different people against each other, type of thing. But it doesn't work. It's not like a smart way to pit two people again. It's just a happenstance type of deal.
I'll defend the film again. So again, at the
Horrible.
beginning, I wanted to get my point across that I liked the progression of where they're mining humor from. So you initially have the identification of a body, which they found a way to make that scene funny, even though that's a tragic, the trauma of having a child die and trying to identify this, but they find humor in that.
Mike,
then,
it's not,
then,
that part
then
wasn't funny though.
then a
Mike.
follow-
They
it
wanted
was
it to be
funny.
funny, but it wasn't.
Here's the
See,
problem.
I found it to be funny.
Okay.
So wait, hold on. Let me just get my point across. So then there's another scene where right following that where Liam Neeson is he's going on his taken role and he's trying to get names right off. He's interrogating people. So there's another scene where he's beating somebody up. And they also, and I won't get into detail. They find a way to make that humorous, even though again I get that there's violence in it, but I found it.
Try to make it funny,
found
and
the
they
introduction
failed.
of
This is
humor
gonna be a good one,
in that
guys.
moment
I like it.
to be funny, and then the escalation continues, and then there's a scene where he commits a murder, and they even find humor in that murder. So now. After that point, I concede that it does start to fall apart. I liked that original arc because, of course, once you get to the murder, there's hardly anything more serious than that they can find humor out of. Where it starts to fall apart is when they try to humanize the villain. They have a villain in here who's, he's the kingpin drug dealer.
He's the worst actor on earth.
He's at the top of the ladder, so this is where Liam Neeson has to try to eventually get.
We have to admit he's not a good actor.
He's terrible.
He's horrible.
And it's not necessarily that the actor is bad. It's simply that the role they gave him was just try and be a sniveling evil villain, and
it reminds me of
no character.
It reminds me of Serenity.
No personality
with Jason Clarke's character. That character is a one-note character. He's written to be a total terrible person abusing his wife and everything. There's no depth. There's
but
change.
he played that right in that movie. He wasn't.
Yeah, I mean
that's only because you don't like Jason Clarke's face.
But he played that part right. This guy played the part of evil, funny guy. They're trying to make it funny, like he's the Joker. Okay, like he's the Joker without makeup and a tenth of how funny and interesting the Joker is. He's that. He's just.
I didn't laugh at a
ridiculous.
single scene that guy was in.
I didn't laugh at anything.
He
either.
was trying to be funny, but he wasn't at all.
To get back to the point he was making about that they're raising this guy in the morgue so they can look at his face clearly. They're trying to make it funny because the guy's like doing this kick step, lifting him, jacking him up, okay, so they can see him. It lasted a minute and a half. That ain't funny after a minute and a half. And they did that same type of scene where they're lifting something up, 4 times probably. And it got worse.
Okay, I'll concede again. It does get worse. However, the second time they do it, I thought, here's a little subtle reference, and it wasn't that subtle. Here's a reference to one of their gimmicks from before. So the second time they did it, I thought that was acceptable.
I think they were trying to be funny at the wrong times, Mike. That's my point.
I don't. But so
much of
this
film felt like they were trying to be funny.
It was
And
trying.
I'd probably say 9 out of every 10 joke segments that they did failed.
No, it wasn't that bad.
It was
that bad. For me there was a lot of humor that worked here, and a lot of a lot of the things that Liam Neeson did in the film I thought really worked. Again, I'll go back to the villain. That was a huge problem because they do so much character development. They do so many interactions with his henchmen and with the rival gang and with his ex-wife and his son. Lots of character development for a character that is irredeemable. He's a bad guy. We all know he's a bad guy. We want him to die hard. We want him to get it real good in the end. And yet they waste a lot of minutes trying to humanize him, or at least give some sort of a contrast with the son and with the wife.
They never tried to humanize him. I mean, what are you talking about?
No, they were just trying to make him seem funny at times.
They're trying to make him feel funny and
humanize
weird.
might be the wrong word. They're trying to make his character more complex. They're trying to show like he's got this spectrum of activities.
But he's sort of evil in every aspect of his life, with his interaction with his kid,
so
with
then
his ex-wife.
we go to repetition then. So they didn't need to have so many scenes with him doing the same awful things or even different awful things. As soon as you know he's the villain, that's plenty, and they keep going.
The film was not only 30 minutes too long; it had 30 characters too many.
You guys, it was 2 hours. You're right. It was 2 hours long, and they tried to do an hour and 20 minutes of funny jokes. And look, I make you guys laugh. That's what I do on this channel. There was only like 2 scenes that made me actually laugh, and they had to do with like a rival gang. Let's step away from this guy, this bad character, because we're going to try to shorten this one up. But another thing that really bothered me about this movie is every character had a stupid nickname, and the nicknames were horrible. They were trying to copy, like Joel was saying earlier,
maybe something
Snatch.
like Snatch,
like Snatch, like how everyone's have their different code names and names, but the names did not work. They were bad. It's just bad. And then I even got like a feel of Boondock Saints. Now, don't go see this because we just said Snatch and Boondock Saints.
I'll disagree. I think people should see that. And I don't know about your audience, Bill.
My God, don't wait till it comes out on the for rent at the dollar machine.
I think some people will find this amusing.
Oh man, well, Liam, there were a couple critics in there that thought it was funny, and I kept looking over. I'm like, who are these guys? Are these guys movie critics or what? Are they Liam Neeson lovers? I love Liam Neeson. I expected Taken Part 8, but I did not get that. I got a movie that was trying to be funny, and it failed.
Yeah, I didn't find it.
Is there no
humorous
humor in the Taken films?
There is a little bit, but it's.
But the bad guys seem bad. These guys are a bunch of goofballs.
There is a lot of like, and you know, I'm agreeing with you here. There's a lot of unnecessary character development for a lot of villains.
There's
not
huge
just
amount of
not just the
unnecessary
main
characters.
not just the main
There's
antagonists,
two
but also the
gangs
henchmen
that are fighting, and they have like 15 different characters that all get copious amounts of screen time, and there's two
that's
police
for one
officers.
gang.
Yeah, and
I
there's
don't-
two police officers
I don't
who are
I don't
investigating.
mind. See,
And
I
they're
don't,
inept.
And everything they do in this whole film is inconsequential. So
right,
their
but that's
entirety
part of
can
the
be
point.
cut.
That's
Yeah.
part of the point. There's definitely a commentary here on the frailty and the futility of especially the police investigation, but certainly the frailty of life, the meaningless of life, or rather the disregard for human life.
Yeah.
Definitely, there's that in there.
Numerous other films have done this same sort of thing.
Well,
better.
I won't deny that this same idea has been done before, and perhaps better. But I don't want to dismiss this
Not
and say
perhaps,
I don't want to dismiss this and say it's a terrible film. No, it
is a
I
terrible
found it to
film.
be pretty entertaining in a lot of moments.
I've been
It's-
waiting for this, guys. I've been waiting for when they both disagree, because usually it's me against them. Okay, but
It
now
doesn't
I got
happen often.
we disagree.
I got one of those critics
We
on my side
disagreed.
right now,
A
and
Star
I'm
is
going
Born.
for it.
Last year,
A Star
we
is
disagreed
Born,
on quite a few films.
A lot, Sisters,
With me.
Brothers, Bohemian
With
Rhapsody.
me is
Oh,
what I'm saying.
But that's because we only go to superhero movies with you.
Well, yeah, I have seen a horrible movie called Serenity, the new one, guys, not the other one. And this now, I wanted to go in there and see Taken 4. And I did. That's not what I saw.
I think people who are fans of Taken will actually like this film.
You are 100% wrong, Mike. They want look. First of all, he's not an expert
So,
killer.
so if you
He's
go
not
see this
anything.
movie, the only way to make that comparison is to see this movie and then weigh in.
The problem is, in the Taken movies, Liam Neeson is a one-man fighting force who kicks
That's
ass
correct.
throughout the whole movie. In this movie, he never once does that.
He does kick
He-
ass, but not in the way you think.
He's
No, not in the same
in
way
a
at all.
lot of ways, because of the overabundance of characters in this film. In a lot of ways, he's a supporting character. So and again, I completely agree with you guys. There are
There's
way
too many
there are way
characters.
too many characters.
That's correct.
But let me just to break it down for your audience. So you've got the villains, which are the heroin dealers, and they've got a whole network of people. There's the rival gang, which are Native Americans, and they've got a whole network
Now,
of people.
get me wrong.
Yeah.
They're funny. The Native American
there's
gang
some interesting
was
things
funny.
going on
That's the only time I laughed is when they were
But
talking.
to go further, there's Liam Neeson, and he's got a family. You know, the son dies right off the bat, but there's also Laura Dern, so she has a small supporting role. You also have Liam Neeson. He has a brother and a wife, and those characters both get screen time. Then you have the police who are pursuing them, and there's two of those characters in there. This kind of odd couple side, funny contrasting sorts of. There's Emmy Rossum plays the young detective and or street cop.
It's
really, I
not
guess
funny
it
enough,
seems like.
Mike. It's not
Yeah.
funny enough.
No,
They
no,
went
I-
for it and they failed.
I won't. I can't disagree that there are things that fail in this movie. It's 2 hours long. It really should have been 90 minutes. I totally agree with that. And there's way too many characters. In fact, the way you shorten this film by 30 minutes is you remove a lot of those characters and a lot of those little storylines.
Tell me about it.
However, I thought a lot of the humor mixed with the morbidity of death, I thought that worked.
One of the problems is that for every little piece of humor that slips through and actually is kind of funny, then they just beat it.
Yeah, they
over and over and over.
reuse
They
it.
keep
I
using
agree.
that
There's
same
repetition.
thing,
Yeah, there's
and
definitely-
then it's no longer funny after you see the same skit six times
We have
in a row.
the same case of a movie starting off well, where you think it's a revenge film and he's going to do all this crazy stuff, and then all of a sudden it starts to try to be funny, and then you're like, wait, where's this movie going? And then they try to be funnier, and they keep beating
But-
it again, and then you lose the revenge
If
story,
you look at
and it's just a bunch of people
But
dying
how
in
many
stupid ways.
how many people actually want to see Taken 4? There's already been 3 Taken movies, and
That's
they weren't
why.
they weren't any good after the first one. So you get a pretty decent first Taken film. You get a lot of repetition in 2 and 3. People are done with that. So I want to see Liam Neeson again.
But this film is
doing
not-
something slightly different, and this
it's not in
this
the
was
same
that.
vein.
This was. I mean, because of Liam Neeson's involvement, because he's got basically a checklist and he's killing off henchmen one by one. You get that Taken vibe even if you didn't want it.
The film
And I
doesn't,
think they wanted
focus-
it.
the
I
film
think they
doesn't
wanted it.
focus enough on Liam Neeson.
No.
There's so
Right.
many other characters
There's so
that
many other
halfway
stories.
through the film you're like, what happened to Liam Neeson? Where is he?
Yeah.
Why is he not kicking ass? Oh, these other gangsters are kicking the asses of other gangsters.
There's a
We don't wanna
point
see
that he could get to in this, in killing people, because he's a normal man. He ain't a super killer. So there's a point up the ladder he can get to, and then all these other stories develop. Now, if he was Liam Neeson from Taken, he would have killed everyone at the top.
We
But
want
he's
to
a
see
normal
that.
man.
But we don't.
wanted to see
I
Taken.
disagree. We don't want to see Taken 4. Taken 3 didn't.
I do.
I don't know if Taken 3 did well or not, but by the
Taken 3 was
by
pretty
the
bad,
time you
but-
see Taken 3, it's like, well, I'm done with this. I'm done.
But
How
I'm
many-
not done with
How
the
many times
Liam Neeson
can
being a
Liam
badass,
Neeson's family
kicking ass,
members get kidnapped over and over and over?
having a
No,
special
nobody
set
wants
of
that.
skills that
Yeah.
Right.
I want to see that.
Okay, and I think we got
That
to
was-
see that. I think we got to
No.
see that because he had
He
that
had no
same.
skills.
He had that
His
same
only skill was
determination,
driving a snowplow. I mean, that's not
Yeah.
the same.
and he used it. He used it very well.
Oh,
to-
yeah.
to-
Oh,
to-
everyone saw that. But dude, there's no trickery or hey, I broke your throat and ripped it out and threw it at you. That's not that. It's physical.
The other thing, too,
and
But
that's
again,
within
but
the
again, I
first
don't
20
know.
minutes.
I don't know that people really want to see that again. Liam Neeson's getting older. He himself has admitted that he doesn't think it's very realistic for him to be engaged in all these martial arts scenes. I think he wants to play up his strengths of his personality,
But
his
There-
aura.
there is
the
no
idea of
person- he
him
has
using
no
his
personality.
the
You
idea
don't
of him
think so?
using his
Not
brains.
that movie.
I think he's an interesting character to watch.
The idea of him using his brains to
No.
outsmart the enemy and stuff, that's not in this film.
Yeah, that's
He's
not in that.
There's very little
So,
orchestration going on
I
of
agree
him
with Joe.
outsmarting the villains.
If
But
you-
he only outsmarts the villains by chance,
But
by
who-
luck.
who
And
said-
other characters are orchestrating
Who
things.
said he
in
needs
this.
to be a mastermind?
Mike, here's the thing,
He's
though.
too ordinary
When you
in
put
this
Liam, here's the thing, guys. This is what we see in the trailers. You put Liam Neeson in there. You see he's killing some people. It's a revenge story. You get that from the trailers. First thing you think is, yes, another Liam Neeson movie where he's
But
Jason Bourne.
this-
but
this
that
goes-
ain't this movie.
This goes to show people why the trailers are
Trailers are
advertising,
deceptive.
but
I
they're
can agree
very
there.
misleading. They're very misleading.
I can agree with that.
Trailers are, to a lot of critics, especially, one of the worst things you can ever do is watch a trailer because it gives you preconceptions about what you're going to see, and 9 times out of 10, it's all they're showing you the best scenes. They're showing you the most action.
Okay,
scenes
well,
or whatever.
so then to wrap things up, if you want to see Taken 4, this isn't it.
No.
I disagree. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of Taken 4 in it. The better parts of Taken 4, without having to see the repetition of his
The
his
better
family.
parts of Taken
yeah,
4.
without having to see his family get kidnapped over and over and over again. There's no kidnapping.
yeah,
well,
but
there
there's
is
no
kidnapping, but there's no.
there's no Jason Bourne fight scene.
Yeah.
But
There's
I
nothing
didn't want.
like that.
I don't need to
It's,
see that.
Hey, are you this guy? Ooh. Let me hold a gun to your head. Oh, what's the name? Okay, boom. That's it. There's no hey. I'm just
I
tricked the
don't-
villain,
but see,
and I
what
sniped
in
him.
my
and,
in my ideal version of Taken 4, he doesn't do martial arts.
Well, then
he
I
still
would,
plays the
I would
tough
like
guy.
to see him use his superior intellect to outsmart.
Who said he has to have
Yeah,
superior
there is
intellect?
no. Well, in
The
Taken-
villains in
then
this
it's-
film are not
then-
very intelligent at all.
But that's part of. You're right. But that's the part of Taken that he's very smart. He's good at what he does. Stuff like that.
Hey,
that is not this.
they killed his kid. That's determination.
If you want to see ordinary people doing ordinary things, go watch Roma. This is a Liam Neeson action movie. I
No,
wanna see-
this wasn't the.
it wasn't.
That's-
I was
And
hoping it
shame
was.
on you for thinking it was.
But what it was terrible still.
I agree with Joel. Now, they're going to give you their review over at ConwayTwins.com. Right now, you can see my video over there too, but you're already watching it. And they'll give their number. I don't know how they're going to come up with it. You guys,
gonna be
you
interesting.
guys share the number, right?
It's going to be arm wrestling.
So do you average it out? If it's 1 through 10, he says 1, then you say, and then you
Typically,
give the average?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
If-
I hope
if
you don't
there's-
go too high, Mike.
If there's a
Don't go
huge
too-
disparity, though, that
They go real low, Joel. Save us. Okay, look, out of 10, you said?
You'll have to go to the site.
Oh man, I'm sorry, guys. I love Liam Neeson, but for me, it's a 2 out of 10. And the reason I give it
Tough
that is-
critic.
And the
here.
reason I give it that is because there's 2 funny jokes. And I'm all about that.
Yeah.
And that's all I got from that movie. And I wanted Taken and I did not get I got Taken all right, but not the movie I,
I think
wanted
people
to see.
need to give it a chance.
So I hope you guys I'm really happy about this review, guys. I really am. This is what I want from it. I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys, we'll see you.
Yep. Thanks again for having us. We
I can't
appreciate
talk
it.
'cause this is for later. But thanks so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Go see their site, ConwayTheTwins.com.